got to find a way to get this nigga out of here. See, a lot of y'all don't know it because y'all wasn't down there. But they've been trying to get, they was from day one. That's why I was getting on that one nigga. I don't really know who the fuck he is. I only know him from the Corey Holcomb show. The Craig nigga. Yeah, I see that bullshit you said about the doc, my nigga. I seen what you said. Talking about, oh man, he built down there building illegal pyramids. Sit your yellow ass down, nigga. You know what I mean? Why did you bring Dr. York into what the fuck you was going through with Joe Budden? You ain't had to do that shit. You a slanderer. And you a double agent. Corey Holcomb, you need to know that shit. That nigga, he behind the reason why your shit fucked up right now. It's him. He the common denominator, nigga. You should have stuck with what was that dude name? Zoe Williams. You should have stuck with Zoe. That brother was talking some conscious shit. This nigga, he's a Mason. They send him in to be your handler, to bring forth your destruction. I'm just telling you, I got that discernment. You know, talking about he down there building illegal pyramids. And sit your ass down. Where the fuck was you at when them pyramids was being built? These niggas that be saying shit about the land, that be slandering and be having some bullshit to say, where the fuck was you at when we was doing that? You was up in some Masonic lodge, bowing to the same shit that we was building. That's what you was doing, my nigga. And from day one, first the hunkies tried to act all cool. But once they seen them pyramids start going up, man, they was shaking every nigga down that was coming to the land. Every time, pulling over women with children in the car for nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's something that put a 9 in the comment if you was down there in Wahani, in Kodesh, Tamaray, Egypt of the West. If you was there in the 90s, you remember. Especially if you stayed in Atlanta, right? Especially if you was coming from out of town. They would shake you the fuck down. The sheriffs. They ain't like that shit. So we was dealing with that shit from day one. Once they seen that niggas was coming down there, they was like, oh, we can't have this shit. Shaking niggas the fuck down. If I'm lying, I'm dying. In 10 minutes. And I'm going to be on here 10 minutes from now. I'm not lying to y'all ass. Sheriff Seals, you's a fucking devil motherfucker. You try to do voodoo and all type of shit on that man. Yeah, man. But see, I was there. And we had our own newspaper. You know what I mean? We had our own newspaper. I used to have all that shit, man. I had 2 people in my family that threw the shit away. They threw away the shit my mama had, then the shit I had put it in somebody's storage when I was moving, and they lost their damn storage. I lost all of that, all of my records, all of the shit that I had. That shit got lost. But I know it's brothers and sisters out there with those newspapers, and they can show you, you know, where we documented it ourselves. But people don't know about that shit. Y'all just know what Fox News telling you. That's all y'all know is what Fox News is telling your ass. And y'all will turn around and call Fox News some liars, except when it comes to the doc. Oh, they telling the truth about that nigga, but everything else they telling is a lie. You can't play both sides of the fence. You can't do that. You got to pick a side. Don't blame the fence. You got to pick a side, motherfucker. You all against Fox News when they fucking castigate you in the negative light. But when it come to my master teacher, y'all want to say, oh, yeah, they was right about that. He was doing all that shit. It was on the news. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, see, the girl, she recanted her statement. Did you know that? Abigail Washington, she came out and said it. Like, yo, they made me say that. It's like why you say that shit? I made another video about that. Like, yo, should have took that on the chin, baby girl. She was doing some bullshit and got caught. That be that bullshit. And that's why I be real scrupulous with letting people into the 1089 tech space. Because y'all might be doing, I don't know what the fuck y'all doing. But don't associate me with your illegal shit, whatever the fuck you got. Don't align me with that shit. They looking for any damn reason to pick on me. But my face is clean. You know what I mean? My face is clean and my hands is clean. I'm not on no bullshit. You ain't gonna find no background scandal with me. And they know that. That's why they fuck with me the way that they do. Y'all have no idea how hard they be fucking with me. They ain't got nothing to do with this TikTok shit. They be fucking with your boy. And not in a good way. You know what I'm saying? They be fucking with me. I done got them invites to the Illuminati network. You know. The barons and the lords that's on TikTok, they done reached out to me. You know what I'm saying? They like, yo, man, stop influencing those commoners. We got a whole nother class of people that we want you to influence. All you got to come do is join our Order of the Light. And they know I ain't going. Like, man, how you gonna say that after you seen my videos? You know I'm not going for that shit. You know I don't rock like that. They know it. I'm not about to sell out, man. I ain't sold out this far. But a lot of these other niggas, they just get their ass a couple of little nigga trinkets. See how they did Young Pharaoh, Brother Polite. What's the other one? Nature Boy 2.0. All of them, like you besmirching, you're tarnishing the proverbial legacy of the forerunners. Why would you do that? Rashid Jamil? You know what I mean? You know, dirty ass, dusty doodle draws ass niggas. Come on, man. And I only say that because they're not doing the right thing. I know that you ain't right and exact. I said the same thing about Brother Polite years ago. Niggas was calling me a hater about Brother Polite. They're like, oh, you just hating because he wrote all them books. And Young Pharaoh, the one exposed his ass. Like, that nigga ain't writing none of them books. I'm like, damn. They just swept that shit up under the rug and got him debating against Hebrew Israelite. You on the damn YouTube with Sa Netter. Another sucker. Them niggas ain't doing shit. They ain't built no pyramid cities and none of that shit. They not dropping no knowledge. They not writing no books. You hear me? They there to keep you distracted and detracted. Period. Period. They sold themselves out for 30 pieces of silver. I could go down the line, but I ain't even gonna waste my time on the live getting on all these niggas. Cause see, I've been around for almost 30 years. I was here before it was a YouTube channel. I remember when YouTube was buffering. You know what I'm saying? Exactly, arguing in the conscious community and shit. We setting it up like it's some damn boxing match or some shit. I'm like, man, is you kid? Man, please. I'm gonna expose all that shit. I'm telling you, I'm working on some books. I'll be working nonstop around the clock and fulfilling people's orders and addressing my community and coming on here. You know what I'm saying? But I seen it. Shouts out to Brother Paddock. May the ancestors be with him. Brother Paddock used to be talking about the afterlife, and I was intrigued by that shit, right? In his humble beginnings. I remember. Then that nigga started talking about the devil and Baphomet. I'm like, oh, nigga, you done went off the deep end. Should have went to the pyramid. Nigga, you ain't go to the pyramid. Nigga wanted to get on some devil shit. Start putting spells on people. Smoke the panic pack and shit. Like this nigga tripping. Same thing with Bobby Hemmett. They both got on that Aleister Crowley shit. Y'all know that's who Jay-Z is in the Aleister Crowley. That's why I be telling y'all got to be careful out here, man. You got to use your discernment. And so I come to the people that be new to their journey, that don't know nothing about nothing before these beings predatorize your ass. But they be looking for people that don't know nothing about nothing so that they can trip you up and send you down the path of what I call nowhere. That's another book that I just outlined, that book. I still haven't started writing on it yet. The Path to Nowhere. These niggas don't got no spiritual foundation, no spiritual system, and they don't have no real spiritual connection. Everything they telling you is speculative. It's not facts. It's not truth. I tell people, they'll tell you, I tell people don't even try to connect to the Neteru. Connect to your grandmother. You owe her a debt of gratitude. You don't owe the Neteru. They find that as disrespectful. You disrespected Tahuti when you're not going into the direct pecking order. A lot of people just get themselves so-called Egyptian names. Y'all be naming yourself after these deities, and y'all didn't get initiated into anything to be doing that. I know, you could use it as a moniker or something, but don't be telling people that's your name if you've never been initiated. Now, if you belong to a particular temple or a spiritual system, then, Unc Zed Seneb to your ass. But if not, it's like, come on, man. You gotta have etiquette. A lot of people don't have that, man. They start talking out the side of their neck, and you're not realizing it's somebody that's watching you that's open to everything that you're saying. And they think you the fucking truth. And they don't know nothing about nothing. They're not doing no research. You don't put yourself in a capacity where people can ask you questions and put you under a speculative lens or a scrupulous lens, then you're doing that being a disservice. And that's what I learned from my Supreme Grand Master teacher. He said, question everything and everyone. Straight up. And if it doesn't go through the filter of sound right reasoning, which is the science of nine ether beings called Nawabu, then it gotta go. That shit you can't present no facts. That shit ain't connecting. If it ain't making the synapse in the brain fire and start connecting molecules in the brain and shit, man, fuck that shit. Put that shit down. People love talking about Lucifer and shit like that, and Baphomet. Like, man, show me that shit inside in the temples in the Happy Nile Valley. I don't see that shit in Hetkapata. I don't see that shit in the Temple of Edfu. I don't see that shit in the Temple of Kaminu, the Temple of Anu. I don't see that. I don't see none of that. I don't see no pentagrams. I don't see no hexagrams. There's no record of no devil. There's no record of no God. There's no record of no Bible. There's no record of no Joseph, no Moses, no Jesus. There isn't any. Y'all got to use y'all discernment and stop waiting for somebody to give you all the damn answers. You got to, what the doctor used to tell us is, don't believe shit I tell you. Go look it up. That's what he used to say. Like, yo, go look this shit up. And every time you go look up what he tell you to go look up, you will find more than what he told you. So do you think it's a chance Dr. York can still get out? Yeah, of course it is. If it wasn't, he wouldn't be here. But he told y'all he had 30 years to give you 26,000 years worth of information. They gave him 30 years to do it. That's what the elders gave him. Because he stood on behalf of us But they was ready to blow this planet up. And he came down, you know, who he's an avatar for, the 19th Elder, who you know is the Archangel Michael. Galactically, he's called the Anun. He was the avatar for over 23 souls so that he could disseminate 26,000 years of information that has been laying dormant in our genetics. But they only gave him 30 years to do it. He got 76 trillion years worth of information, but he had 30 years to give us 26,000 years of that information. And we had to go 30 years without his guidance. Those that really are erudite in the knowledge, they know that. And after those 30 years is up, they come in to check your report card and see what the fuck you've been doing with that knowledge. Did you use it to make yourself a better person? Or are you still on the same bullshit you was when you first got introduced to it? How many souls have you raised? Have you been fighting against these adverse forces and raising fallen humanity? Right? And for the little nigga that has something to say about me saying something about Rashad Jamal, talking about at least that nigga was out here putting out the truth, what are you doing? Nigga, you need to go check my track record. For real, for real. Because while that nigga was doing time in county jail, and I ain't talking about now, I'm talking about 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I'm time stamped on the YouTube. You can see I'm on a whiteboard. I look a lot younger. Patah baby. That's the old page. I got 150 subscribers on that. I was like, damn, I get all these subscribers. People, that's my old page. So I've been putting the truth out there, bro. Go check my track record. Ask the people in Zone 6 in Calla Road about me. They OGs now. But they'll tell you, like, nah, man, that brother been out here dropping knowledge. A lot of y'all was in the car seat. You know what I mean? You was in the car seat, little nigga. Nigga talking shit. I went to his page. He had his new little dreads and shit. He had this little Rashad Jamal starter kit. Looking like he's sleeping under a bunk bed. I'm like, this nigga got bunk beds? Overgrown ass nigga. You coming here talking shit about me? Go get your daddy, nigga. Clean your room up and send your daddy to me. I can't even argue with your ass. I ain't even gonna argue with you. I said what I said. You know. But I'm just sick of people being led astray. And like I said, I be beating my own self up like, man, but I used to think TikTok was just for the children. I got children, right? They're not children no more. They functioning adults. You hear me? So it's like, yo, the fuck? I shouldn't be on TikTok. But Baba came to me through the psychic center. You know, on the psychic plane. If you're in the AEO, you should be able to tap into the dot. You should be able to pick up on the transmissions that he's emitting. Especially if you were part of those orders. If you're not, then you're just a reader. Most people they was comfortable just being a reader. They was too spooky and too scared to come and take part in what was going on. The cognizant dissonance kicked in with a lot of niggas. I'm telling you. I came in 97, near the end. Right? So I know exactly what I'm talking about. And you can't say there's something wrong with me. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, nigga. I came out the trap to the pyramid. All my people up in the D, they was wondering what the fuck happened to me. They came down to Atlanta just to make sure that I wasn't on no other shit. wasn't, you know, I wasn't in no witness protection program or some shit. Well, niggas seen I grew braids in my head. I had my tar boots on my head. They like, whoa, what the fuck this nigga on? I was like, come on with me. I took them niggas down to the land and everything. I took them down to the land. The doc came out and was teaching and everything. Like, damn, this shit. Like, damn, dog, I thought you was down here on some bullshit. Like, why, nigga? Like, you just left up and left out of nowhere. Niggas started getting indicted. I was like, nigga, I'm in alignment. I got to get, I got the fuck on. You hear me? And this ain't a fucking game. I was there to bear witness. That's why I usually start most of my broadcasts with the call of the prophets. It's a great day and time we living in right now. It's a day and time when all the prophecies of this world and the scripture will be fulfilled. And we are blessed to be a witness to this great day and time, to watch all of these prophecies come to pass. That's the call of the prophets. Most of these niggas don't know none of that shit. Y'all be condemning the Bible and don't even know the damn Bible. Ain't decoded it, ain't did none of that shit. Like, fuck the Bible. But you speaking English and using their terminologies to validate yourself and what you saying. This double-minded ass niggas out here. I'm just keeping it 10K. Then you ask, well, who's your teacher? I'm my own teacher. I teach myself. Stay away from self-taught people. I keep telling y'all that because they never been corrected before. And when you try to correct them, notice I said try to, they get offended. You hear me? I spent the first 7 years within the Wabu being corrected. And I didn't feel no type of way about it. In fact, I was kind of appreciative of it. You can't be right until you're wrong. Even when you think you got it right. It's always more to it that you don't even know. You ain't pulled back all the layers yet. It's levels to this shit. It's levels and layers. And here we are some 25, 30 years later. Now these niggas just starting to wake up and shit. Because their mama and daddies didn't wake up. They was on some bullshit. And just because your ass found something on the YouTube, you got about 30,000 watch hours up under your fucking belt. That don't mean that you know what the fuck you talking about. Somebody got to tell y'all that, man. And I'm just here to set the record straight. That's why I tell people to ask questions. We over 60,000 likes. I might as well go on up to the board now. Let me go ahead and pull this up. We gonna get them on the late night. Maybe that's what I was saying today. Like, man, if I would have went in earlier, TikTok probably would have got on that bullshit with me. Because they've been suspending my lives and like, oh, you're spreading misinformation. Exactly, man. They done watch a couple of YouTube videos and now they a master teacher all of a sudden. Like, man, get out of here. Go clean your bedroom, little niggas. Right? What's going on up to this board, man? Take it up to the board. See all my t-shirts I got out here. Got a lot of shirts. Y'all come join our community. Shouts out to Golden Bay. Golden Bay then came on in. Golden Bay, we ain't seen you in the video meeting room, man. You need to come on to click that notification bell. This thing got a little shortage in it. Oh, that light bright as hell. What's up, Double R? Double R in the building. What's that? Pull the chair out. Anybody else? Any other questions? Anybody got any questions? I need to put the staff down. When I put the staff in my hand, y'all notice how amplified I get when I grab the staff. A staff be having me going, boy. I told y'all this thing is alive. The staff is alive. He said, "Do I know how it works?" He said, "What do I need to make one of those? How and know how it works?" You got to be in alignment with your oversoul, right? I just follow your intuition, man. Follow your heart. You got to trust yourself. But I had this staff up on the fourth plane for about, man, it was up there a long time. I want to say about 9 years before I built it. I wasn't ready to bring it down yet. Not until I had a visit by Akhenaten. When I visit, Akhenaten pulled up on me. I was like, "Oh shit!" I almost had a stroke. And I was like, "Damn, yeah, I got to get that staff out." I was touching too much lapis lazuli, man. You know, lapis lazuli open up your brow chakra too. You can see it inside this unk right here. Yeah, but I have a extensive knowledge on the crystals. I got initiated into the crystal kingdom by a piece of labradorite. For those that's not familiar with labradorite, that's a piece of labradorite right there. I like to refer to myself as the Lord of Labradorite. He said, "How was it when I seen him?" Well, he projected out my third eye. First, he came like it was like a psychic connection, and I was outside working on some pyramids, and he just started talking to me like matter of factly, and he was like, "Lapis lazuli, when put in the pyramid structure, you could manipulate the weather like a thermometer, like the thermometer you got in your house." That's what he was telling me. And I said, "Man, am I tripping?" He said, "What does that mean?" You know, it was in my head, and I said it in my head. I said, "Am I tripping? I'm hearing somebody else." And he said, "Yes, this is Akhenaten." I said, "Akhenaten, that's bullshit. That motherfucker projected out of my he projected up out of my shit. And he had this long ass head. His head was long as hell. This nigga had to be at least 8 feet tall. You know what I mean? Like Xerxes on fucking Spartacus and shit. And he sent like an impression of himself, like I don't know what you would call it. It was like like a overlay, like an outline of his body, or it projected into my aura. And it was just too much energy, man. I almost had a damn stroke. He seen that he had a dream of a 9 foot tall woman. Yeah, see what I'm saying? I don't know that being from Adam, man. I'm telling y'all, this shit. I told y'all I'll be having some experiences. He said, "Why do they speak so bad of him?" They speak bad of him because he was sent to the planet by Ray to stop the conflicts that was going on in the land of Amun Ra. Because people stopped venerating Amun Ra, or they stopped giving it up to Amun Ra, and they was worshiping all of these subsidiary deities, and they forgot all about Ra, right? Or Ray. His real name is Ray, you know. And what happened was he came to bring forth what they refer to as Aten, right? And that's to bring all of the deities under one deity, which was Ray. And the people didn't want to do that shit. They wanted to, praise Geb. They turned Geb into a Saru, and people had temples for Osset, but nobody was giving it up for Ray no more. He came to change that, and they wasn't feeling that shit. Just in the land of Amun Ra, right? But as far as overall Egypt, early Christianity, which was founded in Antioch, you know, those Christians, they always, you know, talk bad about it because people don't know Antioch uh, was was founded by someone in the Mesopotamian army, the head general, Seclius the First, right? He was the head general of Alexander the Great, or who I call Alexander the Fake. And they got ran up out of the Happy Nile Valley back in 1650 BCE by Ahmose the First. He ran all their ass the fuck up out of Egypt. And they spent the block, but it took them 1,300 years to spin the block. Shows you how weak they was. When people came out of Sudan and Nubia and Ethiopia, you know, they didn't go down that far. Notice they don't never show you nothing about Nubia. You ever notice that? They don't never talk about Nubia. I'm talking about the pale man. He ain't down there excavating. Them niggas not letting him down up through there. They just started getting into Sudan. And people don't know about Sudan. Sudan got more pyramids than anywhere else in the world. The city called Monroe. Don't believe me. Y'all can look this shit up. Monroe, Sudan. But that's why, and from Monroe down into Nubia, which was the head center, where all of, you know, the royal families and the military, they all stayed down in that area. That's how the gypsies, the burnt-faced gypsies, was able to squat. You know, they like to go everywhere where we go and come squat on our land and stay there for generations and then start to claim the land. That's the same shit they did over here. Did nobody ask them to bring they pink ass over here? They came over here and squatted on your land and then started calling it their own. Acting like they got some right to this shit. You ain't got no right to shit. Go take your ass back to Mount Haran. Go back to the Caucasus Mountains. Go back to the Isle of Patmos, where your jeans was tumbled, right? By the people that was a part of Yaqub's regime. Just go back to where you from. Look at them right now. They over there fucking with Iran. You're not Iranian. That shit halfway around the world. Why you fucking with them? They had a conflict with Japan. Why was y'all fucking with Japan? You not, that shit ain't around the corner from America. You be all up in everybody else shit except your own. Go take your ass back to the cave. I'm just keeping it 10K, man. I'm just keeping it 10K. But yeah, that was the reason. And then if you look at Akhenaten, that's why he got Aten on the end of his name. And same thing with his son. Oh, excuse me. King Tut Akhenaten. It was the same shit for him too. Yeah, I just don't make these staffs for anybody. If y'all want staffs, you got to show me that you've been initiated into some spiritual system or some type of certificate by somebody that's verified. And then I'll make it. This is not for cosplay. This isn't a prop. This shit work. When people come out to the events that I have, I hit them with the staff, and many of them they're in the comment section right now, and they'll tell you this staff is no joke. You got blockages, you got some trauma that you've been holding on to. I will clear that shit up out of you. I will vet that shit up out of you. Get them chakras spinning in the right direction. Many of my students, they become a lot more advanced from the first time that they got hit with the staff. And many of their third eyes is online with their higher self, or they're able to work from the aspects of them that's not human. And they all incur an incalculable amount of synchronicities. And the things that be happening in their life go beyond explanation. Yeah, but I just don't make this shit for anybody. I appreciate that dark side, Lo. Yeah. But if you could do that, you show me you've been certified by a Reiki master, and or if you belong to a particular spiritual system, I'll put one together. It's gonna cost you, but I do it. You know, these things it took time. If you go through my videos and you go back, y'all remember how this staff first looked? Look at all that stuff I got on there. It didn't have none of this stuff on here when I first started. I say over the past couple of years, I've been adding even more stuff to the staff. Okay, well, inbox me. Inbox me and I'll talk to you. Got that black kyanite on there. You know what I mean? Chakra bracelet, some amber, cedar merkaba, some red coral, some labradorite, lepidolite, turquoise. Got some hematite magnets on there. That's a sapphire, Unc. That's sapphire and shungite. Got shungite sand in that one. Got another piece of labradorite right there. You know, the scosalite towers, lapis lazuli, sodalite. That's a sodalite and the scarab beetle. I got 13 coils inside of this pyramid. And you see the labradorite spear in there. That's sitting on a bed of shungite, black tourmaline, and obsidian. And at the apex of the mirror is Herkimer diamonds. I got like 4 Herkimer diamonds in there. You know, I'm going to clean it up for the seminar and re-gloss it up. I got a showerite piece. See that? The IRA? That's showerite, and it's sitting on a bed of shungite sand and some black sand. You know, this Ankh right here got all of the crystals that line up the 9 chakras in your body. Very powerful staff, man. Got the inner chakras right here, all 7 of them. You know, and I didn't use the regular stones that everybody know about. Selenite, I got about 5 neodymium magnets. You can see the neodymium magnet right there. You know, that help accelerate the consciousness of the crystals. The staff ain't no joke though. The last seminar we had at the S seminar, that was the first time that happened. Somebody, shouts out to Jonas. Jonas just broke out laughing. He couldn't stop laughing. And that was his way of purging out the quintuplicated ethers that had been trapped in his body. Some people had those quintuplicated ethers trapped in them, and they need to cry in order to purge that shit up out of them. You know what I mean? But this brother had to laugh. You know, that's another way that you can purge, you know, them lowly forms of ethers up out of your body. He said he cried and felt great afterwards. Somebody hit you with a staff before? L? That shit pull. I bet that shit up out of your ass. You be like, and for those that's gonna come out for the event that we having next month in March, I gotta tell you, please do not laugh. Okay, please don't laugh. If y'all, for the people that's gonna be out there and they've never been to these events before, when we get to the segment of the event where I start, you know, administering the staff on people, if they break down crying and shit, please don't laugh. Don't laugh at them, okay? You gonna fuck the vibe up if you start laughing and shit like that. Don't make no jokes. You know, the shit real serious. Some people have stuff that's been trapped in them 20, 30, and in some cases 40 years. And that shit got to get vetted up out of them, you know. And if I'm hitting your ass with the staff, don't attempt to hold that shit in. Please let that shit out. It need to come out of you. Don't be like, oh, I'm not gonna cry. One seminar, he said he cried for like 5 minutes. Yeah, man. You know this shit real Delphi man. Delphi Gengayo. El Delphi Gengayo. Right? You know what it is. I remember one event I want to say about, I told you I was gonna get it, man. I be wanting to say people's name. Man, it was about I want to say about 7 people broke down crying this one seminar. That was very extraordinary. I was like, man. Yeah, they was crying and shit. I was like, go ahead, let that shit on out. Let it out. It's all right. A lot of people get put on the right track, especially if you struggle and suffer from procrastination. Some people can't help but to just like, fuck it, I don't want to do nothing. I bet that shit up out of you too. And if you let me know ahead of time, if you're dealing with something that you don't feel comfortable talking about, just sidebar me. Don't do it on the day of the seminar. Let me know ahead of time what you got going on, so I know to hit you with certain type of hiccups, right? To dispel that darkness up out of it. It's not a game. A lot of people be thinking shit be just because you're not in alignment with yourself don't mean that this shit don't be for real. A lot of people don't be in alignment with themselves. They be like, oh, this some bullshit. No, you bullshitting yourself. And you projecting. You don't know that to somebody who's open, but you basically telling on yourself. You be like, oh man, this shit ain't for real. That's fake. I'm like, no, you not for real and you fake. You basically just told on yourself. Staff will make you do that. You know, the staff is very powerful. Ask Ricky Rodriguez. Shouts out to Ricky. Ask Shamari. Who else we got in the day? You know, ask Delphi Chicago. He'll tell you. And he ain't even got hit with the staff and he telling y'all. You know. I just met that brother 2 or 3 days ago on here. I'll be playing, man. Yeah, thank you, Ricky. Ricky, like, verified. You know what I mean? Straight up. Even Ricky started crying a little bit, but it wasn't no sad cry. He had that was the first time I seen somebody crying a tear of joy. You know what I mean? And I seen 7-year-old Ricky after I hit you with that staff. Certain people shouts out to Nate Cherry. Nate Cherry had like a flaming aura over his body the second time I hit him with it. That brother was gleaming like a motherfucker. I'm like, damn, man, you gleaming? Yeah. You be seeing orbs flying up out of people and shit. All that type of shit be popping off, man. It's not a game. It's not a game. You know, but like I said, many are called, but few are chosen. Oh, I'm going to start saying that more. Many are called, but few are chosen. Everybody be like, I'm a chosen one. I'm a chosen one. Okay, when I call your ass, let me see how chosen you are. Will you answer the call? And I'm calling out y'all people in Atlanta. Y'all call for this event. My people wanted to come out here to Texas. And y'all was like, man, come back to Atlanta. Like, no, man. We did this. This is the 8th event we did in Atlanta. I'm telling you, we're not doing Atlanta no more after this. We're not doing Atlanta no more. I'll be John Brown. And Some sister ordered a ticket from Florida. She ain't even from Atlanta. Nah, I want to come to Michigan. I do, but shit, I had to go out there to 13 Mile or something. I ain't going in the city. I ain't gonna go in the city. But I do want to do something out there. But it had to be in the summertime. I don't do all that cold shit. Then where you in Texas? I'm in San Antonio. I'm in the San Antonio area. We're gonna do one in San Antonio in July. July the 26th and 27th. That's going to be the AAA workshop where I'll be showing. It's going to be the Ancestral Altar Activation Workshop, Seminar and Discourse. Yeah, you might want to come down for that. We coming up to Dallas in November, right? That's going to be a 3-day event. And I'm going to start posting for that one soon too. I give people with more than enough ample time to prepare for these events. And that way you can get your finances in order. You can start squaring things away. Because most of the community, they come out for my events. For the people that's not in our community. I'm just letting y'all know on TikTok. That's why I be telling people seating is limited. You know, y'all be underestimating what you seeing and think that people on your type of time, like, man, ain't nobody gonna show up to that shit. I can just wait. Yeah, right. You fly your ass out there if you want to. It'd be like, oh shit, I thought I could pay at the door. Like, yo, man, we ain't got no more seats. Ain't nowhere for you to sit, homie. Damn, dog, I done flew all the way from Chicago, though. Like, I ain't got shit to do with that. Sorry. Hey, close that door, my man, because we about to get started. That's how it go. That's how it go. But to compensate for that this time, I set up the Paruti passports for people, you know, and you could just come after the event. I allow people to come in and you could purchase the devices, the t-shirts. I'm going to do my best to do some ancestor money. Shit kind of tight this time. So I might not even have no ancestor money there, but I will have the pendants. I will have some oils. I'm going to have t-shirts and some hoodies and some sweaters and shit like that, some polos. So, you know, I'm going to have some caps for people that want to get the hats and shit. I had the hats there. But other than that, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell y'all. I even made it to where people could pay to get hit with the staff, but that don't mean that you can come to the event if you pay for one of those tickets. You have to wait till after the event is over, right? And that's for the people that's just gonna be trying to pop up on the set right then and there. For those people, that's why I put that stuff on the site like that. Because I know a lot of you niggas, man, I just wait till I get there. I want to see what's going on first. Y'all better stop playing like that. This is not the club. This is not the club, man. When I got enough tickets sold, then I'm gonna take that shit off the site. But we doing another one in July. That's gonna be in San Antonio, Texas, July 26th and 27th. I already know I'm gonna have to do 2 days for that because I know a lot of people want to see how to put that altar together. A functional altar, one where you're going to get results, not my results. These are your results. And I'm telling you, your people going to show up in that candle one way or another. If you really doubt, if you ain't feeling like you connecting, they going to show your ass how to fucking connect. But again, you got to start tapping in. I was talking to my community earlier about this, and not enough people take enough self-inventory, meaning they don't go on the internal aspects of who they are. Y'all be over concerned about who you are on the external level. But you got to start tapping into who you are internally if you want to get some real results. Or you will keep dealing with some human ass shit all the damn time. That's how Akhenaten pop up on my ass. And that nigga popped up on me, man. I'm telling you, I went into cardiac arrest. His head was like the size of a watermelon. and he projected his image into my aura. I couldn't even, man, I shot that thick shit through my aura, through my altar. I ran to the door and I fell in the house and I tried to project that shit in my altar and the candles went out. I was like, damn, then that shit shot back out my altar. I was like, damn. I ran to the grass and put my hands in the grass, dug my feet in the grass, and that shit wasn't no joke. I was like, yo, man, why you do that shit? I was like, you know what? I got something for that shit. And ever since then, first I just had the copper rod. I just had the rod itself. But I had a pyramid. It was another pyramid on here. I had to put the pyramid on there. And what else did I put on there? I had another Ankh. I didn't have this Ankh on here before. This one was on there. I put this Ankh on there and I started putting coils around it. You know what I mean? Because I was working with a lot of lapis lazuli. People kept ordering the lapis lazuli pyramid. Like, yo, I want one of them lapis lazuli joints. Everybody wanted one. Right? So I was like, damn, I got to do more of them lapises. And every time I go outside with this lapis lazuli, this nigga OrgoniteTEK to pop up in my psychic center. And he kept saying the same shit. Like, yo, you know, if you keep that in the sun, you can manipulate the weather like a thermometer. He said he took Ormus and meditated and seen the pharaoh. I was scared. I tried to open my eyes and I seen it. Let me tell you something. Man, you took Ormus. I used to take gold Ethereum, right? I got up to the point where I was taking 1,200 milligrams every other day. You know, I gave my testimony how I used to astral travel, and I'd be sitting on in the astral plane with Credo Mutwa. May the ancestors be with him. I sat with him several times. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, big old one of my Orgonite pyramids. This is my psychic protector. This is my psychic shield for people that be trying to shoot me the evil eye and be sending me bad energy. They be snitching on their ass. They be telling me. I know people be talking shit about me. You know what I mean? They shit be dry snitching on their ass too. But I don't even be giving a damn. I be like, man, send that shit back to their ass. Yeah, this not even my big boy. Here's one. It's a little smaller than this one. You can see the sizes. Yeah, they got showerite. That's one of my birthstones. Yeah. You always have these on the table for aesthetics. And the mug's starting to stick to it, stick to the table. Yeah, I got other little ones too. I got some smaller than this too, a little palm size. I always tell people to put a pendant around your neck first because the pyramid is an amplifier. You know, it'll amplify your thoughts. It'll amplify your auric field as well. And if you got holes in your aura, it's going to really amplify your aura. And beings that look to inhabit people's body, it's almost like you got a beacon to let every being that knows that you got a hole in your aura to come jump in your body. And the beings that exist outside the visible spectrum will become more aware of you. And they'll start coming up with stratagems to cohabitate that body with you. I told this one dude that. He was like, no, I want a pyramid anyway. I know that's right, brother. Hell, I want one anyway. I was like, okay, man. Now, like, you want to learn the hard way. Caucasian brother. The motherfucker had to check himself in the nut house. I wish he was in here. I ain't gonna say your name. You're probably on the other side of the wall watching. If you are, you know who I'm talking to. I know if you see this in the replay, you're gonna be like, he gonna put it in the comments like, yeah, man, that was me he talking about. And then he disappeared. I'm like, yo, where was you at? And see, my orgone is alive. It has a sentient consciousness. It has a sentient consciousness. It did happen to me a few times, especially with him, because I had mailed the pyramid at a certain time, and they didn't get it to him. It stayed in the post office through the New Year's and shit like that, right? And it started vibrating, and the post office thought it was a bomb or something in there. So they didn't send him the pyramid. And I say like 3 weeks had went by. He was like, yo, I still ain't got my pyramid yet. It keeps saying that it's, it's in transit. I was like, damn, it's still saying it's in transit. It shouldn't be in transit. He was like, I know, bro. He was like, I don't know what to do. So he go file a claim and say that it costs $1 million. And then they found it. But they told him they're not going to send it to him. They're going to send it back to where he got it from. He was like, no, man, I need my pyramid. So when it got sent back, the post office called me and asked me to come up there. And they had a whole bunch of federal motherfuckers up in there and all type of shit. They was like, yo, man, what's in that box? I said, a pyramid. They was like, bullshit. Like, it's not a bomb in there? I said, no. Nah. They're like, why this guy filed $1 million claim on it? I said, because y'all held it up for 3 weeks. And the head postmaster came out and told me. He was like, yo, that shit vibrating in the back. Now we gonna bring this thing out here. It ain't no fucking bomb, is it? I said, no, it ain't no bomb, man. Like, give me the goddamn box. I opened it up. It showed them the pyramid. It was like, yo, how was that thing vibrating like that? And it was hard. They laymen and commoners. So it's like, I didn't have an explanation that would facilitate with their understanding. Yeah, I'm like, yo, man, this shit is alive. It was like, that's not alive. I was like, you was scared as shit the whole time it was in the box and y'all was thinking it was a bomb. Now you see it, it ain't. They was like, you gotta have something in here. He kept on looking it up down. You had to have something in there to make it do that. Why was it vibrating like that? I'm telling y'all, man. I'll be calling myself I'm the ghetto Doctor Strange. Not to undermine my ability and shit, just to be funny and shit. I'll say that. I'm the hood Doctor Strange. Let's put it that way. But it be some real unexplainable shit be happening. If y'all hear some of these testimonies from my students, y'all be like, yo, who the fuck is this dude, man? What the hell is he on? Now, I tell y'all, I've been on this for 29 years. I never stopped applying myself. I never limited myself. And I've always left myself curious and investigating what other people had to offer, long as it wasn't nothing dark. Like I tell y'all, I don't mess with nothing dark. No Baphomet, no Lucifer, no Lilith, no Satan, no pentagrams, no hexagrams. I know what that type of stuff can do to a person, right? So I don't fuck with it. Tapping into your divinity does take longer. It ain't something that it's just gonna be some quick fix. And I'm wary of people that be wanting quick fixes and fast results, because you're more probable to being receptive to dark forces. That's why a lot of people go to the dark side, because they want a fast result. But unbeknownst to them, their search for instant gratification That shit come with a dark receipt, and it's gonna pull from your own life force to garner a result for you. So what's some good books to read? That's an excellent question. I always tell people to start with a biology book. Start with a biology book and a dictionary. Start there, especially if all you understand is English. They showed you that in Malcolm X. You see how Malcolm X became Malcolm X? That nigga was studying that dictionary before he started studying the Black Law Dictionary. Because, see, they ain't show y'all that part. He was on that shit, too. You know, his best friend was Henry Roth Black. That nigga wrote the book of law. Don't believe me? Look it up. Henry Roth Black. He used to go to federal court in a military outfit. Said he was going to war. Never lost a case. You know what I mean? This the nigga that taught Johnny Cochran. See, they ain't gonna tell y'all about these type of niggas. I need to put them in the book too and highlight these people because they need to be remembered and revered for the efforts that they put in. Right? But Henry Roth Black, he got Eddie Jackson, who was one of the biggest heroin dealers in Detroit, Michigan. Shouts out to Eddie Jackson Jr. And may the ancestors be with Eddie Jackson. You know what I mean? Eddie Jackson got caught with a whole bunch of heroin, and he got him off the 35 people was in his indictment, and he had enough money. Henry Roth Black had them niggas out on bond for 10 years. When they finally went to court, they only did 4 years apiece. Everybody. This a badass nigga. And this was Malcolm X's best friend. They don't even talk about this dude. But those are two books you need to start with, my man. A biology book and a dictionary. And from there, you can start reading all type of shit. Always, I don't be wanting to just seem like I'm trying to indoctrinate nobody, but check out Dr. Malachi's Duck York L books, because he done authored over 1,000 books. He speaks 23 languages fluently and can transliterate 19 of them back into English letter for letter. I don't know nobody else on the planet that could do that. But I don't even lead with him. I tell people start with a biology book. Because then it's very unbiased when you're dealing with the physical anatomy. I don't care if you're a Chinaman. I don't care if you're a person from Mexico, right? Said, which book of Dr. York is best? All of them. You definitely got to get one of these, which is going to be, I ain't going to say it's hard, but niggas be charging up from $1,500 to $2,500 for one of these. The holy tablets. Get you a holy tablets. Just the 26,000 years of information that's missing, right? The first scroll I ever read from Dr. York was the Ark of the Covenant of Life, the Key of Life. So what are some of the key points that you will learn from reading a biology book? That's an excellent question. One of the main things you're going to realize is you are not the body. The body will start sending neural pathways. It will start, not neural pathways, start sending neurotransmitters and messengers with signals to the part of the body that you're studying. And your consciousness will start flowing through those neurons. And it's going to be letting the body know that, yo, this motherfucker is studying the body. He know that he not the body now. And that's going to start waking up the spiritual aspects of you that you truly are, because you're not this body. You know what I mean? And the more that you go over the body, the more aware of you become. Start mixing the meditation in with it and just start pulling back the layers. There's a guy you can look up online. Now, he not all the way there, but he do got the physical aspects down. And that's Athens Theory. Shouts out to Athens Theory. He wrote a book called God is in the Neurons, right? I want to say he's Serbian. He won a Nobel Peace Prize in, I want to say 2010 or 2011. And he won a Nobel Peace Prize at 26. You know what I mean? This shit is thorough, man. But when I found him, I was already on the golden theory. I was taking, by that time, I was taking 1,200 milligrams every other day. I was drinking 14 pH alkaline water. I was taking blue-green algae. I was taking ashwagandha. People just starting to talk about ashwagandha now. And the people in my community, y'all know that, because I tell y'all, I got 2 books you could download for free once you join our group. And one of them is, there's 2 books I authored. You could just download them. And I give out a shopping list for groceries to buy for your brain, right? They drink water with a little baking soda in it. Yeah, that'll work too. When, I was drinking 14 pH. I was a literal walking electromagnetic being. I felt so light. And I came across Athens and God is in the neurons and shit. Man, I used to watch that shit over and over again. Yeah, that's a good pH level. Start mixing some blue-green algae into it. Drink you 19 glasses of that shit every day. You must got an alkaline water machine. Yeah, you got an alkaline water machine, put the pH, get the pH level up. And man, more water you drink, the clearer you can think. You think clearer when you drink water. People be like, oh, you shouldn't be drinking water. Bullshit. If I wasn't drinking water at that rate, I wouldn't be spitting this shit the way I be spitting. You try to go a week without drinking water. Your piss gonna be yellow. It's gonna stink. You gonna stink. All that H3O shit. That fruit is dying in your body. People don't know that. That shit's still alive. It died inside of you. I remember the doc. I want to say that's in The Science of Healing, one of the books he authored. And he talk about when you eat too much fruit, it start to deplete your ability to be creative, right? So break your food down into smoothies. Take moringa. Like my man Doc always used to say, you shouldn't eat more than what can fit in both of your hands. That's about the size of your stomach. So if you don't put a lot of food on your stomach, it'll be easier for you to retain information and refer to it after you've studied it. Yeah, but we'll get up on the board, man. We over 108,000 likes. I know that's because of Ricky. Yeah, I see I missed your call, Ricky, man. I don't know what I was doing when you called. Let me turn this oven on, man. I got to put a plate in the altar. Yeah, put this plate on. It's Sunday. Sunday, a real good day. That's a good day to put that plate up there. I got some Wagyu steak, some broccoli. All my people in the AAA group, y'all know how I get out with that Wagyu. A little Wagyu up there, some tomatoes. Turn that on. Anybody got any questions? So would that affect your frequency eating meat? No, it won't. If it's affecting your frequency, that means you should be able to change the chemical reactions that's happening in your body, right? So I'll eat some meat. I eat some meat today. I eat turkey products, right? Yeah, that's cooked food for my altar. That's not for me. The Wagyu steak is for my ancestors. They love that. They love that Wagyu. You know, you got to give them your best offering. You got to give them your best offering. Don't give them no poop butt offering. Don't do like Cain from Cain and Abel. Cain didn't give his best offering. You got to give your best. Give them your best and they'll give you their best. They can protect you better. It's 144. I just looked at my granddaddy and it said 144. That was his lottery number. That was him right now just confirming what I said. I can't make that shit up, man. That just showed the degree of alignment. And I tell people all the time, tap in with your dearly departed, man. Stop trying to tap into everything else and stop wanting to go down and have a history lesson all the damn time. And look at the history lessons that's you. Because they don't give a fuck about your grandmama and your granddaddy. That's your job. They're gonna do everything in their power to make sure they don't nobody remember. That's why they be having these gender wars going on. You know, all these disenfranchised children out here that don't know both sides of their family. You just know the mama side of the family. That's some bullshit. That light is gleaming on there. Why? I'm trying to make that light come up off of there. I can't. Any other questions? Yeah, man, but you know, I implore don't eat no pork. Don't be eating no fast food meats and shit like that. But, you know, if you're really in tune, you should be able to pray over your food and change the molecular structure or the chemical reactions that happen when you consume anything. Some people can't do that. You know, I had to get on one of my students today for condemning people for eating meat. Like, man, that shit ain't doing nothing for you if you being a damn dick about it. You being an asshole and don't know how to talk to people. You need to heal, my nigga. Just because you eating it. What other tall beings with the elongated skulls are? Them the beings from Sahu. Them the beings from Sahu. From what you call Orion. Right? Akhenaten. You see a Saru. Let me show you. Let me put this back up here. I could get a lesson right off of this. See how Saru got that? You see it? He got that joint on his head. And nigga had that elongated skull. Many of the pharaohs got elongated skulls. They come from Orion. I was telling you guys that before. That we used to, y'all be so concerned. The pyramids started in America. Pyramids didn't start in Egypt. Nigga, this pyramid's on Mars. You trying to deduce us to some little corner on this little itty bitty pebble? We used to be all over the galaxy. We had traveled as a family together. All of us. You say you have multiple dreams. Yeah, with the women too. Look at Nefertiti. She got a long ass skull too. They don't want y'all to see that. Because like I said, when you see it, let me see if I can pull up a picture. Get my other phone. Hopefully I got some more, what's the name on it? Okay, hold on a second. Yeah, this shit came right up. See that? Elongated skulls. See them? That one in Peru. That one is found in Peru. Let me pull up images. You see that? That shit for real. Them Peru skulls. So y'all ain't thinking about the pyramids that was there too. Got pyramids in Peru. The Nazca Strip. Yeah, yeah, all the way in Russia. I'm pulling up some Russian skulls. Even in Danakios. Yeah, they don't want people to tap into that shit because it start activating certain stuff in your DNA, and you be like, "Oh shit!" You start aligning with all type of different shit. I remember one time I was listening to the Art Bell show. Right, some of y'all don't even know what that is. I listened to Art Bell. This was in the '90s, and he had a dude on there. He was talking about the possum people, and I was listening to that shit. And one day I was meditating in my room, and after I finished meditating, I went outside. It was like late at night, and I seen one of them motherfuckers. That shit made me throw up. It was nasty. I can't stand looking at possums, but this was a possum man. Like, where the fuck did that motherfucker come from? I shouldn't have meditated after listening to that shit. That nigga pop, he was just looking at my ass. I was like, oh shit, I don't believe that shit. Yes. Man, I done had some experiences, y'all. I done had crafts come to my house and all type of shit. And I done did it. Cause I be sitting back listening and watching some of these people on here. They're like, man, these niggas they just be talking out the side of their neck a lot of time. They be attempting to do some shit, but it's like, yo, I keep telling people, you gotta have a teacher. You gotta have a guide, man. I was fortunate enough to have that in my life. You know what I mean? If I didn't have it, I'd be out my damn mind. I wouldn't even been able to tap into none of this stuff. Cause like I said, it was a time I didn't know what meditation was. I didn't know what a chakra was. I didn't know what the auric field was. I didn't know none of that shit. I knew what a triple beam was. You know, I knew what a Glock was. Smith and Wesson, you know, with the rubber grip. I know what Remingtons and Talons and Hollow Points was. Know about an AK-47 with the drum on it. We was using drums back in the 90s. I knew about all that gangster shit, but I ain't know nothing about none of that shit. You hear me? But the second I found out about it, I had to take all that bullshit that I was on and put that shit in a closet, hang it up on a hanger. I'm like, yeah, nigga, that shit over with. Let me get on this shit. I put down a mic and everything. I used to rap, and I got bars. They was like, yo, man, you still got bars. Shouts out to my nephew. Like, yo, we got to get an album out on you, man. You still got to cut an album. Fuck that. You know what I mean? I got bars older than some of these niggas that be rapping now, and this shit sounds sweeter than they shit. But I wasn't gonna compromise myself. And I'm glad that I found the doc at the time that I did, because who knows, they probably would have, gang raped me or some bullshit. Put something in my drink, you know what I mean? Or any damn thing. That could have easily happened to me. Easily happened. But the ancestors was with me. They knew what your ancestors already had a certain playbook or certain blueprint for the life that you're supposed to be living when they allow you to incarnate into their bloodline. I'm telling you, you done contractually obligated yourself to that bloodline you done incarnated in. And just because you can't remember that shit don't mean that shit is valid just because you forgot. You don't remember what you did prior to breaking through that barrier of the Schumann resonance, right? See, you're starting to remember. Right on, brother. That's why they brought you here, man. It's like, yo, listen to this nigga right here. Your own oversoul. I be telling people, I'm like, yo, it's 3 reasons why you get drawn here. It be your own oversoul, somebody that you love that then passed over and brought you here, or sometimes it's an angelic guide. Because certain people don't be picking up on them promptings. Certain people do pick up on them promptings, but they might be missing. There might be some gaps in their understanding. So they'll be like, yo, man, go check this dude out. Because I got initiated by my oversoul. I had 2 Kundalini awakenings. The ibis bird came out my chest during the first one. That's when I fully recalibrated myself to the cellular level, drinking that pH 14 water. And I told y'all I was taking 1,200 milligrams of gold Ethereum. Not Ormus, gold Ethereum, monoatomic gold. I was taking 1,200 milligrams every other day. You hear me? I was running through 4 bottles of that every year. Then I got on the monoatomic black. I started taking monoatomic red. I met my higher self. He downloaded a bunch of information into me. And that's why I be telling y'all about a download. People be like, yeah, I got this download. Like, nigga, you ain't had no download. If you got a download, that shit will bring you within an inch in your life. You can't even receive a download while you in the awakened realm. Your unconscious mind can't handle a download. I speak from experience, not from moosing. A lot of niggas be moosing. They don't even know what the fuck they talking about. Say, where can I get the gold? Yo, they done took that shit off the market. Remember when I was telling y'all that shit? I remember I told y'all that in the group, and everybody was like, yo, I can't find it nowhere. The people that I used to go to, somebody from the Illuminati or something must have bought the company out, and they like all the shit sold out. I found one guy that has it, and I ain't gonna say it across here because I don't want to blow up the spot and then something happen to his ass. But y'all join the community. I'll give you the damn link to that shit. You got to join the community. I got to gatekeep that shit for that dude, for that person's sake, so don't shit happen to him. Am I lying, Ricky? Because people didn't know where it, like I had to do some deep dive digging to find that dude. And he's very vague about who he is. You hear me? But that shit it will recalibrate your shit. The monoatomic gold unifies the left and right hemispheres of the brain. It turns on the occult nerves. It accelerates your ability to astral project, lucid dream. All of that shit automatically get locked in. You start processing information at a more accelerated rate, and your memory retention becomes stronger as well. You said it's all over the place. No, I ain't talking about Ormus, monoatomic gold. Yeah, the second Kundalini awaken, that's when I had to download. That's when I had to download. And that shit happened within 7 days of itself. So when the ibis bird came out my chest, that motherfucker was about the size of Big Bird from Sesame Street. You hear me? And his eyes had so much joy in it. When I looked in his eyes, I couldn't help but to purge. I started crying. And that's when I got my first initiation, my off-world initiation. He told me I had to stay up for 7 days. I couldn't go to sleep. I had to stay up for 7 days. And on the 7th day, I had to go to sleep that night. That night, I was beseeched, listen, by a being that was me. And I couldn't see his face. And I was like, it was just too much radiance. The brilliance of his light was just too much. And I said, how come I can't see your face? And he said, don't look directly into my face, or I would assimilate back into his consciousness. He would absorb me because he was me. Like I'm the highest version of you. He had a pair of wings coming out his fucking head, a pair of wings on his back, and a pair of wings on the bottom of the back. And he had wings on his ankles too. And he said, come with me. I was laying on the floor. You know what I mean? At my pop's house. Shouts out to my pops. He can confirm what I'm telling y'all. Because by the time I get to the end of this testimony, right? So I'm laying on the floor. I had wrote my first book too. That's when I wrote The Relationship of Oneself, y'all. For everybody that done read that book. I wrote it in one sitting. So I'm laying there, and all of a sudden, like this light just came like real crazy. And it woke me up. And I looked, I seen him like hovering over me and shit. And he was like, get up. He put his hand out to me. And I was like, damn, it's like so much radiance in his face. It was like he had like a diamond shaped body. Like it was like a diamond encrusted being. He let his hand out. He picked me up. And when I looked, my body was still laying on the ground. And he told me to grab my cord. Listen, he said, grab your cord. I said, grab my cord? He said, yeah, grab your cord. Come with me. We phased through the fucking wall. Out of the door. We went down the corridor of my father's apartment. It was like an apartment building. And when we went outside the apartment building, he said, there it is right there. And now we was not walking, we was floating. Right? Like we was levitating off the ground. I'm in my astral form. Right? He said, there it is right there. I said, there's what? He said, that's the information that you asked for. Right? And so he said, hand me your cord. and he took my etheric cord and plugged it into what I perceived to be a glowing building. And as I looked at it, because it was pulsating, right? That shit was pulsating. He said, that's the information you asked for. And he took that cord, took my etheric cord and plugged it into that shit. And all that information started, not into my physical body. This was in my light body. Now, my physical body was in the apartment laying on the floor still. I'm in my light body. And this motherfucker was way taller than me. He was like real big. You hear me? The information started going into me. First, it was kind of slow. It was like pulsating with the building. And then that shit just started going into me like crazy. Like Neo in the Matrix. When y'all see Neo at the end of the Matrix and he got all them cables in them and shit. That's what it was like. But it was just one cable. And that shit was streamlining into my ass. I was like, oh shit. I feel like I'm about to die. I said, I'm not going to die, am I? And he's like, no, you're not going to die. I was like, it so feel like I'm about to die. And my higher self told me, you're not even in your body. I said, yo, but am I going to get to go back to my body? It was like, yeah, just relax. I couldn't relax. And that shit got overwhelming. And I started feeling it like, it was just like overwhelming for my ass. I was like, oh shit. Right? That was the download. So I get triggered when people be like, yo, I'm having a download. Oh, I got this download and shit. I'm like, that nigga, you don't even know what you're using the wrong terminology. That's why I be saying people need to read a dictionary. But the information was it was pumping into me. And when I jumped into my body, like and I woke up, right? Right when I thought I was about to die, I woke up. And my pops came out the room. He was in his room. He came out, he was like, yo, he was like, are you all right? Because I didn't say nothing. But he felt that shit. And he'd tell you, like, yeah, I did. I did feel something. Like, I don't know what the fuck that was. Pops came out the room like, you all right, soldier? I just turned around like, yeah, I'm good. I turned back around. I was like, damn. I just sat there staring out the window for an hour. And when I opened up the window, it was just a regular building right there. It wasn't a glowing building. And ever since then, it just was on and popping from there. Right? It was on and popping from there. Yeah, but that shit is for real. But what people are referring to as a download, that's pretty much just your conscious, your third eye's opening up. And you're capable, this is like an antenna that's picking up on the transmissions that's coming from the oversoul. It's picking up on the transmissions that's being emitted out the galactical core. Those transmissions on the other end of that vortex of the center of your galaxy, that's coming from the spiritual universe. And it's transmitting that frequency through our galactical core. And your higher self is able to pick up on those transmissions and is relaying it back into the brow century, which is connected to your higher senses in the conscious mind, where it sees itself in the brow chakra and it starts tapping into your intuition. But if you start second guessing it, if you doubt it, if you become uncertain, you move further away from your higher senses and you move closer into the range of thinking and back down into your body with your five senses, right? So you got to learn how to master your mind. Rule the mind by accessing your higher senses. If you don't access your higher senses, then your mind will gain the capability of mastering you instead of you mastering your mind. I'll say that again. If you don't access your higher senses, you won't be able to master your mind. Your mind will start gaining the capability of mastering you and have you operating on an unconscious level. You're already on an unconscious level while you're awake in your body. 90% of what you do is on an unconscious level. You don't think about that you got to piss. You just go piss. You don't got to concentrate about that like you do when you defecate or take a shit. When you take a shit, you gotta use some thought power sometimes. Sometimes you don't. If you eating right, you don't even have to do that. It just happened. You go sit on the toilet and it just start happening. Right? If you locked in with yourself. That's why I tell y'all it's important to just study the physical anatomy. People be wanting to go off into the stars and quasars and don't know nothing about their body. Some brothers be wanting to tap in and can't even speak in a complete sentence. I mean, they can't even speak in a complete sentence, but you want to tap into the ninth chakra, the 10th chakra, the 11th chakra. Man, just go get a job. Go get a driver's license. You know what I'm saying? Deal with the fact that you came through your daddy and you wanted to be here. Do that first. You hear me? I'll be doing people a disservice if I don't say this, but a lot of people want instant gratification. They want to get things that they're not worthy of possessing. Yeah, but that's for real. That shit happened to me. And ever since then, I've been keeping a rapport with my higher self. I done visit parallel dimensions as well. After that, I started gaining access to the parallel realities. I did a webinar called Quantum Jump. I might re-release the Quantum Jump after we do this seminar. I will release it again. And I'll put that available on my website. Ricky, we got to find out how to shrink those files, the video files, so people could just purchase the shit, and I won't have to sit in on the webinar with their ass. We got to figure that one out. But I started going through the parallel realities. I seen several versions of myself, and in one of my versions of myself, I tested it through my root chakra. And I seen a version of myself that was a bum ass nigga. He had 3 or 4 kids. I wasn't taking care of my children. And Dr. Malachi York was in my fucking dream. I mean, he was in the parallel reality. And he was coming over there to hit me off with a couple of dollars because my girl was about to leave me and shit. You know what I mean? And my mom was in the dream too. Or it wasn't a dream. That shit was really going on. And she was telling my girl to leave me and shit. And this nigga not shit. And I'm like, but my mom had no, she wasn't passed away then. She was alive. She was alive. So I'm like, and we were staying in Detroit instead of Atlanta. And instead of staying in the house that I grew up in, we was living in the house across the street from us. And the doc pulled up. And when I would when I go through the parallel, the parallel realities, I would look through the person's reflection, the parallel version of myself, the reflection of that being, it would be me looking into that dimension. And he was out there talking to the doc, and the doc was talking to him, but on a psychic level, he asked me, he said, what are you doing here? I said, damn, you can see me? He said, yeah, I can see you. Why are you over here? You shouldn't be in this dimension. I was like, whoa, and I woke up. I told y'all I got a lot of experiences that didn't happen. Like, I don't have no explanation for that shit. I don't have no explanation for it. That's what happened when you tap into spiritual knowledge. That shit transcends your rationale. It transcends your reasoning. This is why I be telling y'all too, knowledge, even though it's very necessary, it in itself is not a sufficient condition. It's not. You might want it to be, but it's not a sufficient condition. It can only take you so far. You're going to have to apply yourself and transcend thinking. That's one of the main things we talk about in our community. You got to transcend thinking. If you can't transcend thinking, you're going to start overthinking. You got to get to a clairvoyant level. When you clairvoyant, you don't have to think no more. that might sound like a bunch of mumbo jumbo to some of y'all, because you might be operating, you allowing the unconscious mind to override your conscious mind. Because only 10% of your conscious mind is needed in the awakened realm. They tell you use 10% of your brain. No, you use 100% of your brain. If you used only 10% of your brain, you'd be in a fucking coma. You use 100% of your brain, but only 10% of your consciousness is online in this dimension. The rest of it is facilitated by your unconscious mind. Right? You don't tell your heart to beat. You don't tell your heart to beat. You don't tell it to pump the blood through your body. You don't tell your liver to filter the food you just ate. You don't tell the chemical reactions to do it. It's doing that on the unconscious level. You see that? And everything you do in the body and outside of the body, your subconscious mind is recording it. And you can access it. You just got to learn how to trust the receptions and the perceptions that you are capable of sending and receiving. Right? It's highly imperative. And like I tell y'all, they spend trillions of dollars every day to keep you locked in this region. They don't want you here. They want you in fear. They want you uncertain. They want you doubting. They want you second guessing. Because once you start tapping into higher senses, they can't enslave your mind. You become uncorruptible. They can't influence you. You follow? So it's all about tapping into the brow chakra. That's the seventh chakra. And that lines up with our set, who sits on the mighty throne. And who else sits on the throne but a ruler? A ruler is someone that is capable of ruling their mind. They're able to rule their lower nature, or they're able to rule the they're able to rule the body. Your body is comprised of animals. You are not the body. You can't overvalidate this shell. People overvalidate this shell too much. And that shit keep you locked in the lower field of consciousness. You follow what I'm saying? But you want to be able to access your higher senses. You do this through meditation, strengthening your focus and concentration, staring into the candle. And once you learn how to focus and concentrate on one thing, you can start accomplishing that task a lot faster, one thing at a time. If you try to do 2 or 3 things, you will be all day with it. You'll be all week with it. It'll be an ongoing process. And even if you do finish it up, it's not going to be as efficient and refined as it could be. You just focus on that one thing at a time. Right? Just focus on that one thing. And that's the way that it go. You know? So think about that, you guys. Because you're getting intuitive promptings from your oversoul, right? You're getting intuitive promptings. Many immortal are not receptive, right? They're not receptive to that aspect of their consciousness. So they be missing it. So you start seeing 1111, 111, 222. It's doing its best to try to get your attention and put your awareness online with these intuitive promptings. And you keep missing it. So it's like, damn, maybe I could come through the TikTok, right? Like maybe I could catch him through that TikTok. Maybe I could catch him through this commercial. Maybe I could catch him through this billboard. You will see something at a certain time. You're like, damn, this shit is on point. Why is this stuff happening like this? It's you trying to get in touch with you. And you keep thinking you this damn body and you not. That's what people need to realize. Microphone out. I wear out the microphone. But I give you all a full seminar every time I come on here. It's pretty much you're getting a seminar. The seminar worth of information. Subscribe to the page. Become subscribers. The more subscribers I have, the more than likely I will start doing subscriber-based lives. But I had my intuition told me today, like, yo, don't go live now. Because I was going to go live after we talked in the community. I had too much stuff to do. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to come in late. And maybe they won't fuck with me when I come in late. By now, they would have gave me a violation strike and said I'm spreading misinformation. My live going to be invisible to viewers for the next 10 minutes. Then they'll suspend the live. They abandon, and then I got to appeal it and then wait for everybody to come back. They be doing that shit on purpose, man. But there's been consistently 33 people in the room, and I'm almost sure it's another 20 or 30 people on the other side of the room, maybe 100, maybe 200. I can feel y'all there. I know you're there. What he said? Oh, yeah. Straight up. That's exactly what it is, brother. Right? That's exactly what it is. And I've been going through that for the last 3 years. I should have over 500,000 followers by now, and I don't. I'd have had too many videos go viral consecutively for it not to be more people following this platform. I got over 3,000 uploads, but they shadow ban me. They don't never let my videos go past 200 views ever. Then they be trolling me with these other videos and shit. He said, what made you take the gold? That's an excellent question. I was listening to one of the elders, right? One of my elders, shouts out to Ty. I had a military buddy from the Marines. He was stationed in Egypt, and he had his own store inside the Kroger in Atlanta, Georgia. And when just growing up, my mom used to go there and get incense from him and oils, and he would always be dropping knowledge. What are you saying? Yeah, the brother. Let me just read that right quick. Yeah, they be blocking. They block people to block the notifications. A lot of people be complaining to me like, "Yo, man, I don't be getting notifications for your videos when you going live." They be mad like, "Damn, man, I missed the live." I'm like, "Yo, man, That just lets you know how evil and maniacal these motherfuckers is. And this is why I be telling people to purchase the tech, come join our community. Because everybody that buy the orgone from me, I'm going to call you and vet you out before I let you in my own private community. That's my vetting process. Because people that can't put the orgone around their neck, I know you got some dark shit in your ass. I know you do. Because if you dark, you can't put the orgone on. Your demons won't agree with it. But yeah, shouts out to Ty. He the one. Did he tell me about the monoatomic? How did I find out about that? Yeah, he told me about the monoatomic gold. Because I was buying my alkaline water from him. And he was serving me. First he started serving me 9 pH. Then he took it up to 11. Then he was like, hey, you think you can handle some 12? Because we used to be building. He was like, damn, man, where you getting all this knowledge? And I was like, yeah, from the pyramid. I'm a part of the ancient mystic order of Melchizedek. He's like, oh, you know Dr. York? I said, yeah. He was like, yeah, man, that brother bad. And that was it. He said, I done been down to the land. I done went around the pyramid a few times. He was tapped in. I was like, yeah, I fuck with you. He was like, yeah, man, let me show you what I brought back from Egypt. He used to always go to Egypt and shit. Like I said, he was in the military. He done wanted, this was years ago. I could go back to the year 2000 with this brother, but he was giving out CMOS. He had CMOS then. Nigga talk about CMOS now, like, oh, they talk about that shit like it's all new and shit. Like, nigga, I've been on that shit. You know what I mean? I used to be a raw vegan. I don't do all that shit no more. That shit was making me sick. And just for me, you know what I mean? The doctor was like, yo, your physiology not built to be, you depleting your shit. can't keep doing that, man. I was all skinny and shit, and my jaws was all sucked in. I had a lot of energy. I felt good, but I already had a lot of energy. I didn't grow up eating pork or none of that stuff. I was in the Nation of Islam. I came up in the Nation of Islam household. So we already was eating right already. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to fasting, remedial fasting. Our main meat that we ate was whiting. It wasn't even chicken. We mostly ate fish. And not even that. It was mostly fruits and vegetables. And then the fish. You gotta eat to live, not live to eat. You know what I mean? I read that book. Shit, my pops used to read that shit all the time. So did my moms. And they would be talking about it. So I grew up on a different frequency than other people that put me on a different trajectory to where I was fated to be doing what I'm doing right now. This is not by coincidence. You know what I'm saying? It's in alignment with what the ancestors wanted. But it's some real shit. And I told a lot of y'all before, I'm directly related to the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. I did and I wasn't even trying to find that out. The ancestors guided me as I was doing my research on my family tree and who my grandmothers and my grandfather's mothers and fathers was. That's how I came across that information. That led me back into Sanderville, Georgia. And I found out some things, and I won't divulge further on here, but hey, that's just the way that it go. And my granddaddy made the ancestors be with him. He used to always get the final call. And that's how my dad got involved in it. And my granddaddy wasn't in the Nation of Islam or nothing, but he would always, he didn't go to church. He hated the church. He can't stand pastors, because they used to sweet talk his mama. You know what I'm saying? And that's what his daddy did to his mama, but he had another family or whatever. But that's a whole nother story in itself. But all that shit came out. That's why I tell y'all, you gotta tap into your own family. Stop looking into the Anunnaki and the Netaru and all that. That shit'll come. They want you to connect to those people that you contractually obligated yourself to. Allow the unknown to open up the corridors and channels that's going to lead you to those particular beings. It's a pecking order to this shit. You hear me? Shouts out to the doc. The doc did the same thing for all my newer beer out there. Ain't that what the doc did? See how he tell you about his mother and who his father was and who their mothers and fathers was? You need to know that shit too. And you not only need to know it, you need to venerate them and pour a libation out for them. You know, and make a plate for them. Like I'm making a plate for mine right now. Let me go get my plate out the oven. Y'all get us up to 200K. Let me get this plate out. I still keep talking though. I got this mic on. You know, it's nice and juicy and shit. You know, they like this shit, man. It's the best time to put your offerings on the altar too. It's in the middle of the night. Oh, put my little plate up here. I take care of mine, man. I'm appreciative for what they did for me. You know, I show them you gotta honor them, man. Honor your dearly departed, man, every day. You know, ain't nobody kiss you on your cheek like your grandmama. You know that. Ain't nobody hug you like your grandmama do. She loved you unconditionally. Prayed for you. Yeah, she was praying to Jesus. That's all she knew. But they alchemized that shit. Them, you know, they tapped into the alchemy of that shit. I'm just trying to show y'all something y'all ain't used to seeing. But, you know, just a little, some wagyu and some broccoli. You know, making it look fancy on a little fancy plate. Put this on my altar. Light a little incense foam. I know y'all just heard that. I don't know if you can hear that, but after I said that, the smoke detector just did beep. It don't never do that shit. That's them letting me know, like, thank you. You're welcome. Candles over here doing the crip walk. See, my AAA people know what time it is already. Everybody that took my discourse, they know what time it is. It's not a game. It's not a game, man. Shit just beeped again. So you gotta trust. You gotta trust them too. You gotta learn how to trust. I don't know if Jaja's still in here. That's one of my students. Jaja, one of my students. She been with me a long time too. She been off and on though. You still in here, Jaja? You done went to sleep. Yeah, Jaja done went to sleep. But nah, man, this shit for real. You for real. How do you know you exist? Because your mother and father exist. And they mothers and fathers existed. And they mothers and fathers existed. And they mothers and fathers existed. You know that. You don't believe it. You don't got faith in that. You wouldn't be here without that activity taking place in the first place. So honor it. That's where your connections come into play. You hear me? That's where they come from. Then you ain't got to be spooky and speculative. Every night the Orion Star Belt line up right over my crib. Every night. Every night they do that shit. Right over my house. Wherever I go, the Orion Star constellation be right there with me. Everywhere I go. Anybody else got any questions? They're telling me to tell y'all, I don't know, somebody out there might be adopted or something. Don't get discouraged if you adopt it and you don't know your original biological parents. You got to be a little bit more clearer than that, beloved. As far as when you're saying, where did I start? What you mean? I started with my mama and daddy. I was the apple in my daddy's eye. You feel me? Yeah, you got to be a little bit more clearer than that. Yeah, what's the constellation that looked like a pyramid? I don't know, but this the Orion star constellation. Maybe you're talking about the Orion star constellation, or maybe not. I'm not certain. But, hold up a second. Let me pull this off. That's the Orion star constellation right there. Is that what you're talking about? Ooh, got a whiz. That's what I see every night. I could go outside right now and it's out there. And then something shoot across the sky. Yeah, that's probably what you're seeing. Yeah, but like I was saying, for the being that did ask that question, you know, because you came in, you might have came in here late. I done already talked about all that. There's always somebody that come in after the fact and like, God damn, I just got through talking about all of that shit. You know, be in alignment. Or you might be on the other side of the earth. I don't know. But yeah, I started, with my parents. Everything started from them. And then I used to hear my father and my uncle, they would be building in the living room, and I used to be ear hustling, and they used to be sitting there reading books. And when they would get up and leave, my pops would leave the books open, and I would go in there and try to read it. Can we sync without gold? Without the monoatomic? Yeah, but it's gonna be, I ain't gonna say it'll be difficult, because shit, it was the right knowledge and the holy tablets and all of them scrolls. I don't know, because I used to make El my garage all the time when I go to the land. Sometimes I would make my garage 2 and 3 times a day. All of these course of events led up to me getting to the monoatomic gold. That's what aligned me with the brother Ty at the store on Memorial Drive in Atlanta. And he told me to go look for the monoatomic gold. He told me to type the take and everything. That was from Harmonized Enterprise. Harmonized Enterprise. And if you look it up, you'll find a website, but it'll say that shit sold out. And I started taking El Magaraj was the first scroll you read. Yeah, that wasn't my first one. Mine was damn. I got the El Magaraj, man. Shit, that was a wrap. Was the book made then? Nope, he had just wrote the book. He had just wrote the book. And I was like, man, I need that Magaraj book. And the next time everybody had the book in their head. You remember that? You be on the land, the brothers be having the book in their head while they doing it. Everybody had the book in their hand. That's why I be telling y'all now when y'all be doing the Ashatat, like, yo, man, it's okay that you gotta hold that shit in your hand. Everybody you gotta start somewhere. All right. But that was a catalyst for the brother that asked about the monoatomic gold. Is it necessary? It had to be necessary, especially if I was doing all the stuff that I was doing up under the guise of the Supreme Grand Master Teacher, and then I got to that monoatomic gold. Man, shit. I started off taking 600 milligrams every other day. Then I went from 600 milligrams to 900 milligrams. I went from 900 milligrams every other day to 1200 milligrams every other day. You know what I mean? And I was just fully open. I started reading about thermodynamics, nuclear, what they call it, nuclear physics, aerodynamics. I didn't understand none of that shit, but I still was reading it. Everything I was still reading it anyway, and I was processing it, with fluidity. What they call that, rocket theory, rocket propulsion theory. I was reading all that shit because the guy from Harmonized Enterprise, I don't know, his videos, you probably could look it up on YouTube, but I think they wiped everything down with this dude. He was on one. It was a white dude. And he was like, the person that spins the gold, they had to be on a certain level in order for you, like just your average layman can't just be giving you monoatomic gold because you're going to be on the same level as the person that's producing it. But they need to divulge exactly who they are and what they capable of, where they studies. This guy was he was into he was a neurophysicist, quantum mechanics. He was a rocket engineer. This motherfucker had a whole bunch. He had a bunch of credentials going for his ass. And if you look up on Harmonized Enterprise, he give you a little breakdown. They still got a piece of the little breakdown up there, but he used to have way more shit up there. And that acted as a catalyst, man. I'm telling you, that shit had me open. I was taking red sea moss, green sea moss. What else did that brother have me taking, man? Ty used to have me on some shit, man. Living in Atlanta, especially like in the late 90s and the early 2000s, man. Even Dr. Sebi, billionaire. You remember when Dr. Sebi was on the land? People be talking about Dr. Sebi now, man. I seen that nigga in person. I didn't know him personally, but I seen him. You know what I mean? He the reason why everybody was on the land having a gallon of water. now people today be talking about Dr. Sebi like he a myth. Not to say that he is a myth, but like, nah, man. If you in your 40s or above and you wasn't on the land in the 90s, yo, you missed out, man. For real, you wasn't in tune. I hate to say that, but I'm just saying. You was, man. That shit was right on time for me. Yeah, a lot of people missed that shit. A lot of people knew about it and still didn't go down there. They was spooky. Like, oh man, they said that y'all a cult. They let y'all come outside? I was like, nigga, I don't stay down there. I go down there. Oh, for real? You be going down there? Yeah, nigga, what you thought? Oh, I thought y'all had to stay there. Like, man, stop listening to these dumb motherfuckers. And that shit's still going on. Yes, of course. It's certain things I can't divulge it on here. I can't divulge. But of course, he told us, he was like, yo, this is just an example of what you capable of doing. This was just an example. That's what he told us. I'm telling you. That shit for real. And it's certain stuff I just won't divulge across here. Y'all join the community, I talk about it. And, I give people room to ask questions. They'll be asking some real good questions on the TikTok. That's why I come on here. The people in the group, they don't be having no questions no more. So like earlier today, we was on it. How long was I in there, Ricky? About 30 minutes? Maybe an hour? Like, man, y'all ain't got no questions. I'm getting the fuck off of here. I ain't gonna just stare in the camera at y'all ass. Get my ass on the TikTok. But there's certain stuff that I don't say on TikTok because I don't know who's watching. But in my own personal group that I have that's offline, I divulge all that information. Once I vetted you out. You know what I mean? Gotta cover my tracks. But yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. We would definitely want to do this and put everything out again and do it even on a bigger and grander scale. And it ain't just one person that could do it. It's gonna take a whole bunch of people. You know what I mean? Strength is in numbers. And the newer B are fully aware of that. And things will come together. See, I'll be building the pyramids now. I can't stop building pyramids. Right? But the doc told us we had to go out here and start selling our culture to the public. Said if you don't sell your culture to the public, then other people will start selling your culture in your place. And they'll replace you with your own shit. That's like going to a Mexican restaurant and there's some Chinese people in there serving some Mexican shit. The Mexicans gonna be like, yo, what the fuck is this? In Atlanta, you could go to a damn soul food restaurant and there's Asian people in there with a soul food restaurant. That's because niggas don't got no culture. They think they got culture, but when a person that is a nigga that try to present culture to your ass, y'all turn around and say it's a cult. Y'all take the URE off of culture. Let me see what I could take down here. Take this devil shit down. Y'all take the URE off of culture and shit. Y'all say we a cult because you ain't got no culture. What y'all calling culture, that shit is subculture. What's that? Hip hop, drugs, wearing designer, sagging your pants, wearing braids in your head and calling it locks. The rosters don't like that shit. I just gotta put it out there. You're not locking your hair up. You not they look at you like a bati boy. Oh, pussy clad. You know the fucking Ross. That shit ain't all matted and patchy. You ain't no real Ross, man. And that's just to them. Now you got some brothers out there that be locking it up for real. But I'm just telling you, we don't got no culture. But we got to sell our culture to the public. And if you do it and start a precedence, then more people will catch on and start to identify with the Happy Nile Valley. That's the default setting. If you don't know your tribe or your village, just go back to the damn pyramids. That's why the shit there. Because they knew that you would forget. They knew that you wouldn't know. I told y'all they knew how to read the stars. They could Fortune tellers. They can tell the future. You see a whole bunch of people be playing with the tarot cards and shit. That's the genetics inside of them from when we used to read the stars. We could predict the fucking future. We knew what the fuck was gonna happen. Now you're doing it on the rudimentary level and operating from the unconscious mind. You ain't even got all the way back conscious yet. You know, that's what the holy tablets was to do, was to activate all that stuff inside of your DNA. So once all that shit got activated, it starts setting you on the right track. And it put me in the right trajectory. That's how I got into the gold Ethereum, the black Ethereum, and then I got into the red Ethereum. Started taking red Ethereum too. And my emotional intelligence started to improve. And it became advanced and enhanced. And everybody around me was undercutting me and doing snake shit to me. Every nigga that I came across, and it was niggas from the pyramid too. I'm just keeping it 10K. Many of the brothers from the pyramid would be on some bullshit. I ain't like, damn, man, this nigga that fucking just stole from me. Damn, this nigga that did this bullshit to me. You hear me? I'm just keeping it 10K. But it put me on the right trajectory to get the things that I needed in order to elevate myself, because I was there to make myself a better person, right? That's what spirituality is really about. It's just becoming a better person. Yeah, Judas be everywhere. Yeah, man, niggas was on some bullshit, man. Not everybody, but some niggas was on some bullshit. You know. But shouts out to Haru Hotep. You know, that was one of my main teachers I used to refer to. You know, because I ain't get to chop it up with the doc like that. He had way too many niggas up his ass. And y'all niggas know it. Y'all used to be following the doc, big ass crowd of niggas. Like, man, I'm not about to get behind that man like that. I was raised with my father. I ain't got daddy issues. It was like, yo, damn, man, I'm not about to break my neck and be glazing him like that. Get that man his space. But I did put in a lot of sweat equity on the land. I did put my fair share of labor on the land. I want to say I put more labor in on the land than I did sitting my ass in that seat and asking questions. You know what I mean? I did more of that, you know. And that's because I was young. I would see the brothers that was older than me out there sweating and taking their shirt off and shit and be working all day. I was like, man, I can't just let them older cats go out there and do that. I need to get my ass out there too. I'm young. I'm in the best shape of my life. It could be beneficial just for me to chip in wherever I can. You know what I mean? But those were great times. They were golden times. Like I said, I feel very fortunate to have had those experiences. I don't know what the fuck some of these niggas was telling y'all or whatever, but I was there. I didn't live on the land, but I was there. I was highly involved. Yeah, Amun. Yeah, Amun was on point. Was that one of the Triad brothers? One of the new Triad brothers they had bought in? Because when they took Mike Brown down, man, that's who I used to go to. It was Mike Brown and Haru Hotep. Mentu Hotep, yeah, I used to learn from him too. I used to be at his bookstore. Before it was his bookstore, it belonged to another brother. But he was from the Chicago faction. Do you know Shempty? You know Shempty, Billionaire Bob? Shempty, Rashid. Shempty was called DJ Jihad. Then you had Rashid, Richard, Barry, Baba. He call himself Baba now. He a high priest. He a Babalao priest. I don't know if you know him. These Chicago brothers I'm talking about. Hassan, I knew the old man. Okay. Yeah, them just the newer Beer brothers that was from Chicago that I knew. Yeah, you knew the old man and his wife. They were cool. Yeah, I ain't get to kick it with the old man like that, man. I wish I did. Like I came in like in '97, so I was just like, damn, man, I ain't about to be crowding him like that, man. And I know how to respect my elders. And like, god damn, niggas will push you out the way. I was like, damn, man, I could never get to chop it up with the doc like that. It's all good. I could deal with him on a psychic level. But yeah, those was golden times, man. Real golden. And I was fortunate, like I said, I felt very fortunate to access all that I did and to do what I did. Oh yeah. Yeah, you know what time it is, Billionaire Bob. You follow Billionaire Bob back. Oh yeah. Yeah, I see it. I can see it in you, brother. Yeah, you got it in you. Yeah. Anybody else? Y'all got some questions? My battery, my phone battery about to die. I gotta let that mug charge up. We'd have been on here about 5 hours, y'all. Hold on a second. I'm gonna take a whiz. I'll take one more question. No more questions. Well, that's gonna be it, man. I'll let y'all. Hopefully, y'all took a screenshot of that. I'm gonna get my ass off of here for now and lay it down. For the 1089 tech community, y'all know tomorrow is Ray Day. On the Sunday, we are going there first, and I might set a video up for YouTube to go in on the YouTube tomorrow. All right. Want to do some YouTube. I like doing the TikTok too, though. I want to start on the TikTok and then make everybody shift to the YouTube. Get my YouTube numbers up. But man, I got too many videos to upload. I might be up the next hour trying to upload some shit. Man, I see Ricky ass back up. You done took your nap, Ricky? Oh man. All right, you guys. So we're gonna get on up out of here for 1089 TV and the 1089 Tech community. 1089techvision.com. May the ancestors be with you. May the Most High bless you with a peaceful night rest and an early rise in the AM. See you guys soon. Uamana, peace and love. Waduk.